All right, folks, listen. This is a live stream, and I'm really not going to be interacting with the viewers because I'm just going to be showing some information, and it's not a lot of information, folks. Look, it's only like maybe 8 or 10 cards, and basically, it's just going to be connecting. Uh, by the way, I have tons to show on this topic, but I'm not going to show it in this video. But it's about Elvis and what his name equals. Okay. Now, like I said, there's lots to show on it, but I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to show his forward numbers. See, Elvis, his name equals 67, 22 reduced, and 89 total. Okay, if you add it up, and the backwards numbers are, I'm not going to even show that right now. But what I want you to understand is what is in between 67 and 22 is 45. Okay, like I said, I have a ton to show on this. I'm just going to be focusing on this particular thing for this moment. So, because I told you it's all about the 45. And when did Elvis turn 45 years dead? He died at the age of 42 in 1977, right? The year Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown. Okay, slew means to violently kill. A horse in horse racing, one of the most prestigious thing, he did the most prestigious thing, which is win the Triple Crown in horse racing, which is the sport of kings. Elvis is known as the King. Seattle's in King County, where on June 11th, there's going to be a spectacular event. And the year Elvis died in 77, there was a horse called Seattle Slew. Slew means to violently kill. And he won it, the Triple Crown, on June 11th, 1977, the same year Elvis died. Again, Elvis died at the age of 42. Washington is the 42nd state where Seattle is. Seattle is in King County. Elvis was known as the king. Now, when Elvis turned 45 years dead, his 45-year death anniversary was in 22. And what did I just say? That in between 67 and 22 is the 45. And in the year 22 is when he turned 45 years dead. On August 16, 2022, he became 45 years dead. Now pay attention. From that day when he became 45 years dead, the fuse was lit. They lit the fuse on what they're going to do in Seattle. Because from that day, on August 16, 2022, on his 45-year death anniversary, to June 11th next year, is 666 days, okay? From that mark, because that was the trigger mark, the 45. And Elvis turns 89 next year also, okay? So it's a perfect match for what's going on, all right? And look, I don't want to get into all the connections because, the 24th prime number is 89. You're in the 24th year next year. Forget all that. We're just focusing on the 67-22. And I told you that Trump is the 45 president, right? And in between 67 and 22 is the 45, right? Anyway, so look at the number 67-22, okay? Now, is it just a coincidence? All right. First, let's just show this first. Let me show this first, okay? Give me 1 second here. Let's start with this coincidence first. When Elvis graduated high school, okay, he graduated on June 3rd, 1953, okay? Now, hold on. And I'm talking to myself when I say hold on because, the people are like, man, get to the point. Look. The reason that 6/3, June 3rd, is so important because it's the 154th day of the year, okay? And the words, the Antichrist, equals 154, okay? And from Elvis's birthday to June 11th, if you don't add the day, it's 154 days. If you add the day, it's 155. It's on a leap year, it's 156. Now, I know next year's a leap year because they need to get rid of the equation of the 155, 156. It only has to connect to the 154, 155. And I know you don't understand that right now, but you will in the future. But just pay attention. So the 154 has a connection from Elvis's birthday to June 11th. Because that's the Seattle event is June 11th. Anyway, so there's 154 days in between if you don't add the day, okay? But here's the thing. So 6/3, the day Elvis graduated from high school, okay? It was June 3rd, which is the 154th day of the year, which is the Antichrist number, because the Antichrist equals 154. Now, from his birthday, the day he was born in the year 35, and when he graduated on June 3rd, 1953, 53 is the opposite number of 35, okay, 3553, but really it's 18 years, okay, it was 18 years. And why is that important? Because Elvis is born on 1/8, so that's another connection, right? Now look at, remember I showed you the 6722 for Elvis, what his name equals? Look. Elvis was born on 1/8, 1935, to the day he graduated high school on 6/3 in 1953 is 6,722 days. 6,722. Now, and it's 18 years, mind you. 18 years and like, I forget how many months, but it doesn't matter. The point is 6,722 days, you know, when he graduated. All right, because look, so that's the first connection to the 6722. Okay, now, are you ready for this? Now, remember, folks, when you're adding on the date and time calculator, when you can go up to a date or include the date. Okay, because the date's not completely finished, so it's basically sometimes you say up to that date. So you can count including the date or not including the date. So when you hear me say not including the date, it still counts, okay? So pay attention. So that was the first connection, right? You ready for this? Look at this. So the day his mother died, okay, watch. Elvis's mother is a big deal, okay? This Elvis mother thing, because she gave birth to this Antichrist, all right? When did Gladys Love Smith Presley die?
Gladys Presley died on August 14th, 1958.
So she died on August 14th, 1958. When was Vernon Presley born?
Vernon Presley was born on April 10th, 1916.
So he was born 1916. She died in 58. You know how many years that is? 42 years. So Vernon Presley, the husband of Gladys, was 42 years old. Okay, pay attention. And I told you Elvis died at the age of 42, and Washington is the 42nd state. So Elvis's dad was 42 when she died. How old was Elvis? 23. All right. And what's missing in between 23 and 42 is 19. I told you the 19 crown is so important to this puzzle, right? The Corona 19. And the initials for Seattle, Washington is S equals the 19 and W equals 23. So you have the 1923, which equals 42, right? But why am I talking about this? Let's concentrate on her death, okay? She died on August 4th, 1958. And before I show you that equation, let me show you this first. Because you know Elvis, he was born on 1/8/35, right? It's interesting that their two birthday, the Gladys's birthday. First, let me concentrate on for a second on Gladys's birthday. She was born on 4/25, 1912. Vernon Presley was born on 4/10, 1916. And I could tell you what this connects to, but right now I just want to concentrate on this. So Elvis was born on 8/35, 1/8/35. So it's interesting that their dates even equal the 8 and the 35. Okay, that is nothing. That's nothing so far. But watch. So remember when Elvis graduated high school, it was 6,722 days from his birthday, and I told you Elvis equals 6,722, right? So when Gladys died, to the day Elvis turned 42 years old, Okay, Elvis turned 42 years old. That was the year he died. Okay, so when Elvis turned exactly 42 years old on January 8th, 1977, from her death to his birthday, not counting the day, but up to that day, look at that. It's 6,722 days. And that was the day, look, that was the day he turned 42 years old, the same year that Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown, the same year he died. And look at the amount of years and days. 18 years, 4 months, 25 days. Elvis was born on 1/8 and Gladys was born on 4/25. Are you looking at that? So that's her death date. See? And that's her birth date, 4 months, 25 days. Elvis's birthday, and this is his birthday when he was 42 years old. But what I'm just saying is 6,722 days from her death to his 42nd birthday. Are you understanding what I'm showing there? How ridiculous this is? Okay? So another 6722. Okay? Now, if that's still not enough, let's do this. And mind you, that you remember I told you that that Elvis, when she died, he was 23, right? And I told you he needs the 19 crown, and he died 19 years later because it's 23. He died at 42. There's in between 23 and 19 is 42. You see what I'm saying? Do you get where I was? Because his dad died. I mean, his dad was 42 when his mother died, and then Elvis dies 19 years later, and he was 23 when she died. So it's that 23-19, 1923 thing, because Seattle, Washington's initials is 1923. Get it? All right. Is there anyone who's not understanding this? If you came in late, you're not going to understand it. But is there anyone who's not understanding this? All right. All right. So far, I've shown you the. Let me just really quick recap again. We're talking about Elvis's name equals 6722, right? And his graduation, the day he graduated high school, was 6,722 days after his birth, and then his mother's death, which was August 14, 1958, to Elvis's death. I mean, no, to Elvis's birthday, the 42nd birthday, his 42nd birthday, okay, was 6,722 days also, 6,722. And the exact amount of years and days is 18 years, which is 1/8 Elvis's birthday, get it? 18 years, 4 months, 25 days, that's her birthday. Gladys Presley, his mother, that's her birthday, 4/25. See, everything connects. Okay, now, so Gladys, she was born on 4/25, 1912, right? And I told you that Vernon, the dad, was 42 when she died. And Vernon, he died in 1979 on June 26th. Look at the amount of years from her birthday, from the day she was born to the day Vernon Presley, her husband, Elvis's dad, died. Look at this. Look at that. 67 years, 2 months, 2 days. Are you seeing that? So from the day Gladys Presley was born, the wife, the mother, to Vernon Presley, the father's death, 67 years, 2 months, 2 days. Again, the 6722. Okay? That was from her birth to his death. Now let's look from her death to his death. Look at those numbers. 7622. That's the same numbers, but just a twisted, the 6776. You see? You see what I'm showing? From her death to Vernon's death. From her birth to his death. Look at those numbers. Same numbers. You know? One is days, the other's years and days. You see what I'm saying? All right? Are you getting that? How ridiculous that is. All right? And I told you Elvis equals 67, right? Elvis equals 67, and I connected the Antichrist to him. Remember I told you the 154 is the Antichrist number? So remember I just showed you that from his death, I mean from Vernon, from the mother's death to his death was 7622. Forget about that right now. Look, from his birthday to her death, look at that. It's 154.67 days. 154 is the Antichrist number, 67 for Elvis, you see? Because you understand what I'm saying? 15,467. And look, it's 42 years, 4 months, 5 days. You see the 45, 42, 45. And what is the percentage between Elvis's birthday, the day he was born, to the exact day Seattle slew on the Triple Crown is 42.45%. I'm talking about from his exact birthday to the exact day that Seattle slew on the Triple Crown. 42 years, 5 months, 4 days in between is 42.45%. 4,245%. 42.45. Anyway, okay. Like I said, these are not coincidences, folks. Now, interestingly enough, it doesn't stop there. Let's look at this real quick. So what day does June 11th land on? Hold on, man. What the hell? Man, there's one thing I didn't do here. What is this? Are you kidding me right now? The one thing I didn't do? Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that, folks. I think I missed one equation I forgot to tell you. Let me see if I can figure it out here. Wow, isn't that weird? Listen to this. Today's the 4th of November. Check this out. What a weird coincidence that June 11th, where? I'm trying to find a piece of paper here. June 11th, man, from 6/11 to this date is 6722. Look, to 6/11 to 11/4. Look at that. 6722. And you know that that June 11th on the Roman calendar was 4/11. 6/11 would be 4/11. Anyway, forget about that right now. All right. So anyway, back to the and from Vernon Presley's death. Okay, pay attention. From Vernon Presley's, I mean not death, from his birthday. If you tried to get the 67 years, 2 months, 2 days thing, you know, some connection to the 6722. Look where it lands. So it's from his birthday. It lands on 611, the 67 years, 2 months, 2 days. So from Vernon Presley's birthday, it lands. But you know, he died in 79. But what I'm saying is it still lands on 611 from his birthday. That's all I'm saying. It's just interesting that it lands on that. Okay? 67, 2 months, 2 days. But yeah, there's another connection I'm missing here. Before I show you the really interesting stuff at the very end, there's a couple more things. I mean, I showed you some interesting stuff already, but let's see here. How about this one? How about look how bad I see this. I didn't redo the cards because I ran out. So it's 8-8 from 8-8 to 1-1. The date 1-1, 8-8 to 1-1. The start of the year is 67-22 days. Or 8-7 to 12-31 is 67-22. So you know, because you know there was two of them born on 1-8. You see how it's connected? Their 88 is connected to the 1-1. Elvis and his twin were born on 1-8, 1-8. Get it? Anyway, and both of them, by the way, both of them are named Elvis and Jesse. Jesse spelled Jessie, like on the gravestone, is 67-22 also. You think that's a coincidence? Come on, man. So Jesse, his twin that died at birth, is 67-22-89 also. But the back numbers are not the same. But the forward numbers are the exact same as Elvis, 67-22-89. You think that's a coincidence? Come on. Come on, folks. Come on. Use your head. Come on. People are walking outside. They probably just started running. Anyway, so what else was I going to show here? So let's look real quick before I show you the last bit of information. Let me show you this. Now let's look at the percentage. The amount as a percentage, 67-22%. Let's look at that. Where is it? Hold on. So Gladys. I barely wrote. See, I ran out of cards. So from 611 to 814 would be the beginning of 67-22%, and then it goes to the point, and then it becomes 67-22 point, whatever, 19, then 47, then so it lasts about 3 to 4 days. So it's between 611. So 611 is the beginning point, up to 814, which is Gladys's death day, and then up to Elvis's death day, 816 is where it ends. So 67-22% ends and becomes 67-23 after 816. So between Gladys's death and Elvis's death from 611 is 67-22%. Do you get that? Was that understandable? I know it's hard, and I know it's crazy what I'm saying, but it's 100% fact what they're doing, okay? It's undeniable, all right? And if you do deny it, you're just dumb. There's nothing else I can tell you. Just dumb, all right? Anyway, so let me just show this real quick. I told you that the MLK connection to all this, the 44, because he died on 4-4 in Memphis, Tennessee. Elvis lived in Memphis, Tennessee, where he died. So from 4-4 to 6-7, because we're talking about the 67, and it's from 4-4 to 6-7 is 67-22%. From 4-7 to 6-11, and 4-7, it's been 47 years from the 6-11 Seattle slew It's been 47 years next year. On 6/11/2024, it's going to be 47 years. So it's got the 47 and the 6/11 connecting to the 67/22%. All right. So that's another connection, right? All right. But here it gets kind of creepy. All right. Let's see if this is creepy enough for you. So pay attention, okay? So from Elvis's birthday, do I have an empty card? One empty card somewhere? Hold on, folks. Oh, there's one. I got one finally. All right, I got one. All right. So look. So from Elvis's birthday to 6/11. All right, this is gonna be the last few cards I show, folks. Okay, now pay attention. Pay attention. Look. So from 1/8 to 6/11 is 154 days if you don't add the day, 155 days if you add the day, 156 on a leap year. So this equation has to go. I told you. The 154, 155 equation must stay. The 155, 156 must go. All right. And the one, because it's the twin. You understand? That's what it's basically like a twin. One of the twins has to go, and the 155, 156 connection has to go. All right. So when I say that, I'm telling you this. Watch why I'm showing you that, because that's from Elvis's birthday to 6/11. This is from the first of the year to 6/5. Why am I showing this? Because see, 6/5 is the 155, 156 connection. See, this is the connection that has to go. So 6/5 is the 1 to 6/5 is 155, 156, and 157 on leap year. So this whole equation has to go basically. So why am I showing that? Because pay attention, that Gladys Presley, all right, Gladys Presley, from the day she was born, all right, from the day she was born, remember she died at the age of 46, okay? She died at the age of 46, and 19 years later, Elvis died, okay? And how old would she have been if Elvis was alive? I mean, how old would she have been if she was alive when Elvis died? Look, so Gladys's birthday was 4/25/1912. Remember, folks, I ran out of cards. That's why it's so sloppy. So 4/25 to 1912 is 65 years, okay? Gladys's birthday to Elvis's death. Gladys's birthday to Elvis's death. Gladys's birthday to the Seattle Slew winning the Triple Crown is still going to be 65 years because it's the same year, right? So this was Elvis's death. This was Seattle Slew. So this was her birthday. So it's 65. 65. Are you looking at that? Okay. The 65. Remember, I was just telling you about the 6/5. And look, from her death, that was from her birth, from her death to 6/11 next year is 65 years. See? 65, 65. See? And you know what that equals? 65, 65? It equals 130. And you know the word Washington equals 130. So that's another connection right there. So I know that's confusing, but that was why I was showing you this connection with the 1/1 to the 6/5, you know, because it hits the 155, 156 day, you know. Anyway, whatever. I was just showing you some connections to that. And you know what is just real quick, let me look this up. I want to see what this equals here. I'm almost done, folks. I only have like 3 more cards to show. Yeah, interesting. Let me show you this real quick. 65th prime equals 313. And if you add the 65, you get 378. Look at that. And look, 162 plus 216 is 378. Look at that. So June 11th and August 4th. So June 11th, so the 65th prime is 313. If you add the 65 to the 313, you get 378. June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. August 4th is 216th day of the year. You get 378. So there's another connection. All right. I just threw that in right now. Okay. So now, again, if you think that her death is just a coincidence, all right, let's look at this. I didn't even check the Washington connections to her because I like I told you, I just started doing this just now, and I didn't go back to look at what I had shown before years ago about this. So, so when was Washington's birthdays? You know, Washington had 2 birthdays, right? It was 211 and 222, and I've shown all the connections with that. So I'm not even going to show that. So Washington's birthdays are 211 and 222. So 211 and then 22, right? Look, from her death date, because I told you the unholy trinity is Elvis at the top, then Trump, then Obama. Look, from her death date to Obama's birthday, the exact day he's born, is 2 years, 11 months, 22 days. Look at that. So that means in between 8/14, Gladys Presley's death, and 8/4 is 11 months and 22 days. That's JFK's death date, 11/22. And I told you Trump's going to get his head wound on 8/4. So between Gladys's death and 8/4 is 11 months, 22 days. But, it's 2 years, 11 months. But I'm saying in between is 11 months and 22 days. So that means the 8/4 connected to her death connects to the JFK connection, and also Washington's birthdays, 211 and 222. You see what I mean? And, okay, but what I want you to pay attention to is that the fact that it hits the 8/4, right? And the 11 months, 22 days in between her death and Obama's birthday. I mean, the day Trump gets his head wound on 8/4. But now watch this. What number president was Trump? Well, of course, Obama is the 44th president, but he's the 43rd person to become president. Who's the 44, 45 president? That's you understand? He's not just the 45 president. He's the 44, 45 president. All right? 44, 45 president. Who's the 44, 45 president? Who is it? I'm asking you guys. Who's the 44? Even though I said it, I want to see you say it. Who's the 44, 45 president? Trump, exactly. So in between, Trump is born before her death, right? Would you look at this? Look from her death, from his birth to her death is 4,445 days. Can you believe this? From 6/14, the day he's born, 1946, to the day she died, 4,445 days. Look at that. And then from 8/14 to 8/4 would be 11 months, 22 days. You see what I'm saying? So it's the JFK connection to this. You see that? Are you kidding me? What kind of trick is this? What kind of pigeon pecker trick is this? It's ridiculous. You can't make this stuff up, man. And anytime, I tell you guys, anytime you want me to show it to you, just ask. Just say, I don't believe you, show it, and I'll show it to you. Because I want you guys to do that. That way I can prove it to you. Because I'm just doing this, that way you don't waste time. But if you want me to show it, I could show it. So just ask me to show it and I will. Okay, so basically that's it. You know, some of it is good info, some of it's, you know, nothing. I mean, not nothing, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. You know, I'm sure I could have found much more if I keep on digging. You know, I didn't, you know, I didn't see too much connections with to a few other things. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is someone's saying, you want me to show it? I'll show it. Since you're asking, one person asked, I'll do it. So I'm going to show you the Trump one first. Not first, that's the only one you're asking me to show, so I'll show that one. She died on 8/14/1958, and Trump was born 6/14/1946. Oh. Yeah, so look, that's his birth date, 6/14/1946. That's her death date, August 14, 1958. Look, 4,445 days. 4445, the same. And I could show you more about this equation. Look, there's another connection to his birthday, 146 months is 6/14. And even the 1221 right there is connected. That's the Ata. But that's I don't want to get into it. Anyway, it is what it is. But what else we got? Yeah, those are important. Everything in there is important, folks. Everything you're seeing is important. I wish I could tell you how important all that is. Even that percentage is important. Okay. All right, folks. I think I'm done now. Yeah, I know. There's a couple of trolls in the chat. Don't worry. Just ignore them, folks. Don't worry about it. Stop. See, when you talk to them, that makes me wonder about you. See, I keep telling you guys, whenever you see a troll, just ignore it. See, when you ignore it, that way they don't talk to you either. You know? Just ignore the trolls and let me handle it. All right? They love that you acknowledge them. Don't you understand that? So it's best not to even talk about them. But unless you hear me say something, then yeah, go ahead. But it's better if you don't acknowledge it, because then you just distract. Yes, please hit the like button. Yeah, you see how many likes? There's only 6 likes. You know, out of it. Like I told you, people don't care. But anyway, what else here? Yeah, anyway, so I was just looking at the connections here. All right, folks. Any last words? Like I said, I didn't really. Oh man, look! It took me 40 minutes to do this video. What are you saying? Is Tacoma even is doomed? What are you asking? Right, I'm telling you to get out of Washington State. All right, but if you can't, for some reason, get out of the Western. I mean, if you can't get out of Washington State completely, at least get as far away possible from the water, any part of the water of Washington that surrounds Washington, and get away from King County. Get out of all of King County. I'm just telling you, folks. I say get the hell out of Washington State for just that day. You know, I don't think that the whole thing is going to go. It's got to leave some remnant of it, but I believe that they're going to, like I said, chop the Elvis's head off. You know, if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, ask, and I'll show it to you. What is Elvis's head in Washington State? But other than that, I don't know what else to tell you guys. All right, I think I've worn this out. Any last words, folks? I'm gonna end the chat right now. I'm telling you, there's much more to this. I mean, I'm trying to think what I could look for. Come on, folks, end the chat. You have anything left to say? I'm just gonna check one last thing before I end the chat. Any last words? Wow, nobody's saying anything. Oh. Wait a minute. Oh wow, it wasn't moving, so a few people did say something. Oh, don't worry about it. I was just trying to tell you, don't talk to the trolls. It just makes it easier, you know. Yeah, I appreciate that. Hold on. God bless all of you. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. If the Space Needle is the only thing left and everything else is gone, or maybe just like half the Space Needle is showing or something, but who knows? It might actually sink to the ground. I mean, to the bottom. I don't know what they're gonna do. We'll see. Yeah, like a trophy, exactly. That's what the goat tournament, right, on Jeopardy. And the winner was from Seattle, get it? The goat. And it's in jeopardy. Don't you understand what they're saying? Seattle is in jeopardy. And that's why the Seattle goat tournament, the goat tournament on Jeopardy was won by a person from Seattle named Ken. Crack Ken. The Kraken. Seattle Kraken. I was saying the Kraken was Elvis before they named the Seattle Kraken the hockey team. See that? They stole my idea. Anyway, I think that's it, folks. I don't have anything else. I just want to check one last thing here. I know for the people who are watching this on a replay, you can leave now. You can just end the chat. The last few minutes are going to be completely nothing. All right, one more minute. Oh, you didn't leave yet, did you? Don't leave. Let me just show you something. You remember I was telling you, okay, here it is. Remember I was telling you that that from her birthday, so from her birthday, the day she was born to the day Elvis died, and the same year the Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown, I told you it was 65 years, right? And and then from her, that was from her birthday, and from her death to next year 611, the real Seattle slewing death, the real death of Seattle is 65 years. Okay, so it's 65 years and 65 years, right? From her birthday to the year Elvis died and Seattle slew winning, to from her death to the real Seattle being slewed is 65, 65, right? So they're both connected, right? And you know Elvis turns 89 next year, right? And I was just showing you all the connections with the 67, 22, 89. 67 plus 22 is 89. From her birthday, what does that make? I'm sorry, from her birthday to when 9/11 happened. Look, I'm not going to show it. It's 89 years. Do you get it? So from her birthday to 9/11 and the next 9/11, is in, like I said, it's on 6/11 in Seattle. That's when Elvis turns 89. Are you seeing it? So she was 89. She was 89 years old when 9/11 happened. But from her death, it doesn't really match from her death, because from her death, that was from her birth. So that's a match. Perfect. I mean, from her death to 9/11 doesn't match that much, but from her death to 6/11 matches, yeah. But from her death to 9/11 is 43 years and 29 days. I mean, there's a couple of interesting things, but I don't see anything. 4329. Yeah, the days is 15735. 15,735. That's just to 9/11. I don't see anything. You know. But it is 43, I guess, because the president was 43rd president, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird. That's what I was talking about earlier. That I thought for sure that would have a connection when I was looking up the 9/11, but it was connected to her birthday, and that's why the death is going to be, well, it doesn't matter. But see, the main thing is that the big one, folks, the big one is the Seattle event. That's the game changer. Okay. The 9/11 was just a appetizer. That was the appetizer, the appetize, the apprentice. That was the appetizer, the appetizer to the meal for these guys. All right, Satan is gonna swallow Seattle. All right, Satan is gonna swallow Seattle. All right, anyway, folks. All right, end the video. Jesus is God. And I'm sure I could have found more if I looked, harder at this. Because I found a couple of things while we were doing live. But anyway, all right. All right, folks. God bless all of you. And I appreciate everyone hanging around and end the video. I'll leave this video up. Anyone who got here late, you better watch from the beginning or you're not going to understand what I was talking about. 'Cause some of the info was really good. But, some of it was just, But anyway, end the video. Jesus is God.